Welcome back to the book of Genesis. We are going to read today chapter 46, Jacob's journey to Egypt. Let's get right into this. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifice to the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke to Israel in the vision of the night and said, "Jacob, Jacob." And he said, "Here I am." And he said, "I am God, the God of your father. Do not fear go down to Egypt, for I will make of you a great nation there." Verse 4, "I will go down with you to Egypt. I will also surely bring you up again, and Joseph will put his hand on your eyes." Then Jacob arose from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried their father Jacob, their little ones, and their wives in the carts which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. So they took their livestock, their goods, which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to Egypt, Jacob and all his descendants with him. Verse 7, his sons and his sons' sons, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all the descendants he brought with him to Egypt. Now these were the names of the children of Israel, Jacob and his sons who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn. The sons of Reuben were Hanok, Pala, Hezron, Camarol. The sons of Simon were Jesmul, Jasmine, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, Shaul, the sons of Canaanite women. Verse 11, the sons of Levi were Gerhon, Kohath, Mary. The sons of Judah were Izran, Onan, Shelah, Perez, Zerah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Horzan, Hamul. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Perva, Job, Shimeron. The sons of Zebulun were Seir, Elon, Jahal. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Padan Aram, and with his daughter Dinah. All the persons, his sons, his daughters, were 33. The sons of Gad were Ziphram, Haggai, Shinad, Ismam, Erkaz, Adahi, and Ariel. The sons of Asher were Jeman, Ishahah, Ishu, Burah, and Sarah, their sister, and the sons of Burah were Hebron, Heber, and Malchi. These were the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob 16 persons. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, were Joseph, Benjamin, and to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whose Aseth and daughter of Potperha, priest of On, before him. Verse 21, the sons of Benjamin were Bela, Beecher, Ashred, Gur, Naaman, Elarosh, Mulpin, Hupim, and Erd. Verse 22, these were the sons of Rachel who were born to Jacob, 14 persons in all. The son of Dan was Husham. The sons of Nebat were Jaziel, Guni, Zir, Shelam. These were the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, and she bore these to Jacob, 7 persons in all. Verse 26, all the persons who went with Jacob to Egypt, who came from his body besides Jacob's sons' wives, were 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph who were born to him in Egypt were 2 persons. All the persons of the house of Jacob who went to Egypt were 70. Verse 28, Jacob settles in Goshen. Then he sent Judah before him to Joseph and to point out before him the way to Goshen, and they came to the land of Goshen. Verse 29, so Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. He presented himself to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are still alive. Then Joseph said to his brother and to his father's household, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me. And the men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock. And they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. So it shall be when Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? Verse 34, that is, you shall say, your servant's occupation has been with livestock from our youth, even till now, both you and your fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to Egyptians. And that is the end of verse 46. Well, we saw quite a genealogy here, and I still struggle like crazy with most of these names, and I do apologize. I am probably saying most of them wrong. There was a couple of familiar names in here. The first one is the name of Job right down here. Now, I do not know if this is the Job of the book of Job, which will be coming up sometime in the future. The book of Job is a very old book. There is no mention of the law or Moses in there, so it could possibly be, this could be the Joseph here. So if it is, then we know he came from this genealogy from Jacob himself. And then I saw another one over here, and right here, Haggai. We see Haggai's name right there. There, of course, is a book of Haggai, which is a minor prophet in the New Testament, I do believe. So I don't know if that is the same Haggai or not. Today we are going to tackle chapter 47, over here. Alrighty, here we go. Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brothers, their flocks, their herds, and all that they possess have come from the land of Canaan. Indeed, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took 5 men from among the brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, we have come to sojourn in the land because our servants have no pasture for their flocks. For the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, your father, your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your father and your brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know any competent men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. Verse 7, then Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Verse 8, Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How old are you?" And Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of my years of my life. They have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage." Verse 10, So Joseph blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph situated his father, his brothers, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses. And Pharaoh had commanded, as Pharaoh had commanded. Verse 12, Then Joseph provided his father, his brothers, and all his father's households with bread according to the number of their families. Verse 13, Joseph deals with the famine. Now there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe. So the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, and the grain which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed." Verse 16, Then Joseph said, "Give your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock if the money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, the flocks, the cattle, the herd, and the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. When that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is gone. My lord also has our herds of livestock. There is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our land." Verse 19, Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants of Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate. Verse 20, Joseph bought all the land of Egypt, and Pharaoh, for every man of the Egyptians, sold his field because the famine was severe on them, so the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he moved them into the cities from one end of the border of Egypt to the other end. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had rations allotted to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their rations which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their lands. And Joseph said to the people, "Indeed, I have bought you and your land this day for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land." Verse 24, And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh. 4/5 shall be your own, and seed for the field for your food, and for those of your household, as for food for your little ones. So they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." Verse 26, And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the land of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. Verse 27, Joseph's vow to Jacob. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions there, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. Verse 28, And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, so that the length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, "Now, if I have found favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt." Verse 30. "But let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place." And he said, "I will do as you have said." Then he said, "Swear to me." And he swore to him. So Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. And that is the end of chapter 47. Well, we saw Joseph dealing with the famine. Here, a lot of stuff happened, and they are in Egypt now in the land of Goshen. So we only have a few chapters left, and then we will begin the second book of Moses called Exodus, and in there we will see the children of Israel leaving the land and going to the promised land, of course. And that will happen very, very soon. That's all leading up to that at this point. So in our next video, we will read chapter 48 of Genesis, and we will be finishing the first book of Moses very, very soon. It has been exciting, and the story just keeps going on and on as we see the history of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and how it all ties in today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and God bless.